would like to start the interview by thanking TS Dr. Muhammad Irman bin Ramli. Thank you so much, sir, for taking your time out of your busy schedule to give us this interview. Uh, the purpose of this interview is for our ethics assignment. Without further ado, I would like to ask my first question. In your own words, what does engineering integrity means to you, and why it is crucial for the profession?
Okay, thank you. To me, engineering integrity. You asked about engineering integrity.
Yes.
So when we discuss about engineering integrity, so we must make sure that when we doing work related with engineering, we must work honestly, full of responsibility, and follow ethics when the situation is difficult or inconvenient. Okay.
Okay.
So that is my answer lah for the engineering
Okay, sir.
integrity. So because this engineering integrity, when it comes to integrity, it involves people trust. Okay,
Yes.
people trust. For example, as an engineer, if the engineer involved in building or design a building, for example, or bridges, so they must work with full of honesty and responsible to make sure the building or the bridges or any structures that they are involved in design or construct the structures in good condition, and then can make the people trust in terms of the safety of the building itself. So in other words, others than safety, they also must reliable to be used by the public and follow the standards in constructing the structure. So not only focusing on the skills, the integrity also is very important, so that the public trust can be gained, and the what we call it without by avoiding if disasters occur.
Yes.
Then by that the engineering integrity is very important lah. That is
Yes.
my answer lah.
Okay, sir. Understood. My second question is, how do you balance the pressure to meet project deadline and budgets with the absolute requirement to maintain ethical standards?
To meet the project deadlines and budgets. Okay. So the important thing here is how to balance the deadlines and budgets with the ethical standards.
Yes, sir.
So make sure that the balance can be achieved by doing the planning realistically, okay, from the start, and make sure that the safety being prioritized first, and if there any problem occur, make sure good communication with related authorities, and after that use the judgment, okay, the judgment based on professional standards, okay, and collect the evidence, and then after that, what we call it, to make sure the reputation, the reputation of the project being what we call it, keep under control, so that we can maintain the standards, the ethical standards in doing the project.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Third question will be asked by my friend Sharvin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, good evening, doctor.
Yeah, good evening.
So, why do you think society holds engineer to a higher ethical standard compared to many professions?
Okay, because society holds the engineers to highest ethical standard due to the engineers hold the public, what we call it, safety. Okay,
Safety.
and they also follow strict regulation and strict standards. And then in the what we call engineer profession, so
Okay.
they have been what we call among the public, among the society, the professional guideline or professional ethics is always being engineered guidelines. So that's why the society thinks the engineers hold high ethical standard compared to many other professions. Okay?
Okay, so I understand. The next question is, if you notice a minor technical error in a completed design that doesn't seem to pose an immediate threat, what other step will you take?
Okay, if I notice a minor technical error in a completed design, okay.
Yeah.
So first, the step I will take include first, I will verify the error carefully. Then I will assess the level of the risk. After that,
Okay.
I issue documentation related with the technical error. Then I will liaise with the appropriate person in charge.
Okay.
After that, I recommend the corrective plan. And finally, according to the professional and ethical standards, so I will make sure the steps that I have mentioned just now follow properly, and then make sure the technical error will be resolved. Okay, that's my steps that I will take. I will take. Okay.
Okay. The next question is, imagine you discover that a senior colleague has bypassed a standard safety protocol to save costs. The project is already over budget, but how will you handle this situation?
Okay. To handle the situation, first I would make sure to confirm, make sure the facts will be fully understand, and then what is the step that was bypassed and why it happened, and what risk it may create. And then I will assess the seriousness of the risk by evaluating the risk, and I would refer to the legal compliance or engineering standards. And then after that, I will speak in private with the colleague if needed, and I would discuss the issue with the senior colleague first, and from the information, maybe I can recognize the mistake and correct it voluntarily. And then I will report through the proper channels, and then prepare the document observations. And finally, I will make sure that I have to prioritize the public safety, so that the standard safety that have been bypassed could be handled properly.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your answer. Now I understand that how you handle this situation. So the further question will be asked by my teammate Jürgen, analisis team Marinati.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Dewa.
My name is Mahadevan, sir. And I'm going to ask my question. Can you describe a scenario where protecting public safety might conflict with the company's commercial interest? And how should an engineer resolve that?
Yeah, a scenario where protecting public safety might conflict with a company's commercial interest. For example,
Yeah.
for example, when a company discover a defect,
Okay.
in one of its products or system, okay, after mass production has already begun. For example, like in the automotive sector, so the additive engineer found out that braking components in the car has small defect. So need to fix the issue, for example, by redesigning the parts, etc. So this, if the problem or the defect cannot be solved, then it will make the company suffer financial losses, and also damage the company reputation. So how should an engineer resolve that? So in this situation, the engineer should, for example, first put the public safety first.
Okay.
Then make sure that the problem, for example, the technical problem being clarified clearly, and then communicate the problem through proper channels. After that, recommend the corrective action. Maybe you can suggest a proper redesign, and make testing again, or call for temporary shutdown. And then for sure they must have professional codes and regulation. So as an engineer, the engineer should follow the ethics and legal standards as a guidance. Okay, when where commercial pressure may influence the judgment. Okay. Then, and if the management refuse to address a serious safety risk, the engineer have to report the issue to the higher authorities or regulators or professional bodies. Okay, and this is the paramount protecting public safety measure, so that the company can gain the public trust and the public safety, and also can show the engineer follow the professional ethics properly. Okay.
Okay, sir. All right. And but how do you define a conflict of interest in an engineering contest? And what is the first thing you should do if you suspect one as arisen?
Okay. The first thing, okay, if I found an what we call it, a conflict of interest. For example, in terms of financial benefits, relationships with other members, or outside commitments, because this could influence the conflict of interest in engineering. So the very first thing that I should do is to recommend a supplier owned by a family member without disclosure. This one is the what we call it, conflict of interest lah. The example of conflict of interest. For example, recommend a supplier owned by family, then accepting gift or benefit from contractors, or working on a project where the engineer has financial investment, or using confidential company information for personal gain. This is the example of conflict of interest. So the very first thing an engineer should do, if they suspect a conflict of interest, is to disclose the problem immediately to the appropriate authority, such as supervisor, manager, and those related. Then after the problem have been arisen, the engineer should avoid making decision related to the conflict until guidance is given. Also follow the company ethics and regulation properly, and then cooperate fully in resolving the problem. For example, the easiest way is by stepping out from the certain responsibilities that might affect the engineer's reputation. And the important thing is that early disclosure is important, because the appearance of bias can damage trust in engineering decision. Okay, that's all from me.
Property data and client confidentiality are vital. How do you ensure you protect a former employee's intellectual property when starting a new role with a competitor?
All right, protecting a former employer's intellectual property means the engineer needs to respect the legal obligations, the professional ethics, and confidential information after leaving the company. So to ensure this protection, so I would first clearly separate confidential information from personal experience. So I have to make sure that I make sure the confidential document, the secrets, and the internal strategies of the former employer's company must remain protected. And then I have to review contractual obligations. So I will follow any non-disclosure agreements, employment contracts, or intellectual properties policies from my former employer. So I also need to make sure to avoid transferring any files of data. I would never copy, keep, or share the confidential documents, drawings, or anything from the previous company. And also I have to maintain my professional boundaries. For example, if I been assigned a work that overlap closely with the confidential project from my previous role, I would be cautious and transparent with management, okay, to avoid ethical or legal conflicts. And that's all that I can think.
Okay, sir. I can understand.
Okay.
And now my friend Yogan will be continue, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
My
evening.
name is Yogan, son of Team Marimutu.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
My name is Yogan, son of Team Marimutu.
Okay, Yogan.
Sir, may I proceed with my questions?
All right.
Okay. So my first question is, sir, in your own words, what is the primary purpose of having a national regulatory body like the Board of Engineers, Malaysia (BEM), oversee professional conduct?
So the primary purpose of this Board of Engineers Malaysia, a national regulatory body, is to protect the public by ensuring that the engineers are competent, follow the ethics, and has the accountability in their professional works. Engineering decision, because the engineering decision can directly affect the public safety, the structure or infrastructure reliability, and also finally the national development as a whole. And then because of the responsibility, the society need an independent professional body to regulate standards and oversee the conduct of engineers. This is because the Board of Engineers Malaysia helps to setting the professional and ethical standards for engineers. And also it ensure the engineer have the proper qualification and competency. It also has the have been empowered to register and licensing the qualified professionals, and also enforce codes and of ethics and professional conduct. The BEM also promoting continuous learning and professional development, and also protect the public trust of the engineering profession. Because without the proper regulation, unqualified or unethical practice could lead to unsafe designs, accidents, corruptions, or poor quality engineering work. So the BM Act is a safeguard to make sure engineering and is practiced responsibly and in the best interest of society. So the BM has what we call a function to make sure the integrity, professionalism, and responsibility toward the public. Okay.
Okay. So my last question is,
All right.
under the BM Code of Conduct, an engineer's paramount duty is to the public. Can give an example of how this rule might impact daily design decision in your specific field of engineering?
For example, in mechanical engineering,
Yes.
so the duty to protect the public safety, health, and welfare affects many daily design decisions. For instance, when designing a rotating machine, such as industrial pump gearbox, an engineer may need to decide between a lower cost component and a higher quality component with better reliability and safety performance. So when the cheaper option help reduce project cost, but the engineer also must consider whether the component can safely withstand operating loads and vibration. Is there any possibility of fatigue failure? Or is there any risk to workers if the equipment fails unexpectedly? And also must make sure the maintenance requirements and long-term reliability is there. So the engineer must make sure machine operation perform to its standard to avoid over vibration that can cause severe damage. Okay, so the ethical responsibility to protect safety would require redesigning the system. For example, the operating speed, okay, the damping occurred, even if it increased costs. So in daily engineering practice, the BEM principle means engineers cannot focus only on performance, profit, or deadlines. The design decision must also consider how the system could affect people's safety, health, and overall welfare throughout the system entire service life. Yeah, that is my answer for the question.
Thank you so much, sir. So based on your explanation, I understand that engineers must always follow professional ethics and prioritize public safety in every design and decision.
Yes.
The role of BEM is also very important in ensuring engineers maintain high standards and responsibility in their work.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable explanation and guidance. I truly appreciate your time and knowledge. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Yogan, Savinash, Sharvin, and Mahadevan.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so good luck for your future
Thank
undertaking.
you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.